man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming in with a force, yeah. Blessings we are reap and we coursing on full. But we not rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks like we need it the most. We have to give thanks like we really supposed to be thankful. Blessings all for my life, man. But thank God for the journey to touch to the plus. Yeah, gratitude is a must. Yeah, blessings fall on my right hand. What's a toast to the friends that take off every load. One time, sit down in a class and we pour that only see the road and make one with the road.
Looking for ways to improve your health? Look no further. Visit www.shayreneeonline, where we provide healing beyond the prescription pad. We have hand-blended teas and herbs that are going to provide you with ultimate immune health, cold-pressed juices, as well as sea moss gels that are going to provide you with your daily vitamins and nutrients in just 2 tablespoons. Shop www.shayrenee.net and receive free shipping on all orders over $75. Don't wait, because a healthy life is ahead. It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 22, Not About to Keke and Ha Ha. So y'all, we're going to do this review a little bit different because, as you can see, the hair ain't hairing no more. The wedding has commenced. It has happened. And your girl ain't feeling too good. I have traveled. I did the wedding. Had way too much alcohol, I'm pretty sure. And I went and traveled up to Delaware to hang out with my friend. And, I am just tired. My stomach hurt. But I want to get this review out for y'all because they are showing off in this episode. And I have a lot to say. So I want to get it out before I need to pass out. Okay, so let's just get into it. So the episode starts off where Marceau is still basically antagonizing Keke and Amin. Now he starts to poke at Amin, and he's talking about Keke saying that you need a drug tester and this, that, and the third. And Kimmy and Maurice are trying to put them out of the house, and it's just a lot. And basically, Keke is like, you know what? You're the one that kept saying where there's smoke, there's fire. So you need to check your man. Why are you always checking everybody else? Check your dude. And you know what? Marceau is so conniving because he continues to keep on poking at Keke's drug problem. And instead of saying, and I'm not cheating on my wife, he never says, I don't know what she's talking about. These rumors are not true. I'm not doing anything. I'm not disrespecting my wife. That never comes out of his mouth. At all. Then you got Maurice and Kimmy in their confessional talking about some Amin should have calmed Keke down. He should have stopped her from being disrespectful to Marceau. So here's what's really happening here with this in this confessional with Keke and Maurice. Maurice has made Kimmy conditioned to not knowing what it looks like for your man to actually stand up for you. That's what that told me. Y'all are so, and you and Tisha and Marceau, Maurice, Kimmy, all of y'all are in that Stone Age mindset of never disrespect a man. I am man, hear me roar. So it's never okay for you to speak your mind when it comes to a man. But that man is being disrespectful. Take a picture, Kimmy and Maurice, or Kimmy. Take some notes. This is what it looks like when your man actually defends you. Go figure. You think the first thing Amin is thinking about is, oh, let me defend my brother Marceau against my wife. What? Marceau is over there calling his wife a drug addict. Why would he defend that? And yes, Keke threw a drink on Tisha, which again, like I said in my last review, I don't think that was okay. But it's also not okay for Tisha to continue to be disrespectful. And just like when Mel told Keke on the outside, Mel had a conversation with Keke and said, girl, now did you really have to do that? Was that really necessary? And Keke was like, no, I'm pretty sure I could have handled it differently. I could have just ignored her. And Mel was like, yeah, you got to learn to just ignore people and just let that stuff ride. Let it roll off your back. Or if you don't like what somebody is saying, just get up and leave. You ain't got to stay nowhere where you are not comfortable being there. And I get it. Why keep yourself in a setting where people are being disrespectful? Clearly, Tisha, the thing that I have with Keke, I get it, Keke. You don't want your cousin to look dumb. But your cousin is dumb. She's just looking how she is. You can't be so pressed to give her information that she does not want to receive. That's it and that's all. Period. Let it go. Let her live in her lies. Her husband, everybody is asking questions. Later on in the episode, we see her cousin Courtney. Like, well, what was this all about? Like, what was the premise of this? Like, what was the conversation about? They didn't want to dive into that. They just wanted to keep on poking at Keke's addiction, talking about her addiction. But you're not talking about what posed the conversation from Jump Street. That couple is a living deflection and delusion. Keke and Marceau are full of it. And I'm sick and tired of Marceau talking about that Tisha is living the life that Keke wants. Why would Keke want to live a life with a man that don't love her? And out here embarrassing her and making her look dumb. And being disrespectful. And renting furniture. Because you suggested some rent-a-center furniture. Out here getting sued left and right. Yeah, I'm jealous of that. Ain't nobody jealous of you, Marceau. But moving on, Mel tells her, Keke, that ain't the right thing to do. They discuss that. Keke says, listen, I will take a drug test all day if he take a lie detector test. Because why is it that everybody's questioning me, but nobody is questioning what this dude is doing? That don't make no sense. So Keke gets in the car and she's leaving. And Amin is just like, you know what, I don't got time for this. This is team entirely too much. I'm not about to be dealing with this BS. Let's just go on and get out of here because Marceau know what's up. And Mel was like, that's your frat brother. And he was like, all that go out the window when you disrespecting my wife. Like, I ain't got no time for that. That ain't trumping your disrespect. Don't come for me unless I send for you. And you keep on coming for me, trying to do all this stuff, talking trash about my wife. I don't appreciate it. And kudos to you, Amin, for standing up for your wife. I need to see continuous examples of men being positive where it comes to their wives. Showing what it looks like to actually cover your wife. Go figure. So Keke and Amin leave. And then everybody goes back to collect themselves at this party. And then here comes, Jalen driving up in Keke and Kimmy's truck. So everybody's admiring this truck. And then they all eventually recap what happened. So at this point, Keke, let it go, girl. Let it go. Because this relationship this is one relationship you ain't gonna be able to salvage. So before Kimmy pulls off in this Jeep, Marceau and Tisha are having a conversation. And Marceau is like, because Mel had came over to check on Tisha. Then she came over to check on Marceau and ask, are you okay? That wasn't okay for her to throw the drink on you. Do you have another shirt? Like, because she over here looking a mess. Then Marceau is smoking and he don't want to eat all of a sudden because he's that pissed off. So then he says, it's interesting how everybody always just assumes that when somebody says something about Marceau, it's true. But no one ever wants to check the other person. Why would anybody check the other person? You give signs that what people are saying is true. Now, I get it. At this point, I think that, let me tell y'all what it is. The Scotts keep on talking about everybody keeps talking about Marceau cheating. We might as well stop talking about it unless somebody has solid evidence. They want to keep on rocking and rolling with that as the resolution for all of this stuff so people can stop talking about it. So that they can get away scot-free like they have been. Just because people are talking about it and you haven't told the truth yet, doesn't mean that you saying that is going to stop people from talking about it. Because at the end of the day, people are going to keep on talking about it because allegedly we feel like it's true. Okay? And if we feel like it's true, people are not going to stop at, and they're not going to stop at anything to make sure that it comes out. Period. So you can keep on trying to roll this narrative that, hey, if you haven't caught me yet, why do we keep on talking about it? That's just like y'all keep on talking about Mel supposedly sleeping with somebody else other than Martell. And that ain't never come out as true. But y'all keep on talking about it. Martell keep on bringing it up. Y'all talking about Mel, trying to break up your marriage. There hasn't been any evidence of her doing that. But you keep on talking about it. It's okay for Tisha to talk about everybody else's marriage. It's okay for her to ask Nell and Chris Fletcher about, oh, have you guys ever dealt with infidelity? But nobody can ask you or give you any information that they found out about your marriage. It's okay for you to bring up Keke's addiction, but nobody better not come and tell you that Marceau is potentially cheating. Why don't y'all ever answer the question when people say to you, hey, so I get it. You don't, all right, fine. But what's going on? What do you think about these rumors? Why don't you address your husband? You don't never answer that question. But you so quick to jump on your cousin. And I'm sick and tired of Marceau talking about Keke is jealous of Tisha. Boy, ain't nobody jealous of Tisha at all ever. Her dingleberry brain head ass, don't nobody care about her. I guarantee you, Keke not jealous of her. Hell, I'm not jealous of her. Nobody is jealous of Tisha. If anything, we jealous of you because we might want our hips to be as big as yours are. Child, don't move on. Move on with that line, because that ain't gonna never stick. But did y'all notice when Keke, so let's move on to Kimmy getting in this truck. Jalen pulls up in the truck. Kimmy's best friend, Kimmy is excited. She hugs Maurice and all this stuff, kiss him in the confessional. Has her best friend come out and get in the truck with her. Mel is talking to Kimmy, talking about act bad. You know, she's hype and excited for her for getting this truck. Do you notice Kimmy just like pulled off on Mel while she was talking? I was like, bitch, I know you lying. Because if you had ran over Mel's foot as quickly as you tried to pull off, like my thing is you didn't even tell her, prompt her, hey Mel, I'm about to pull off, step back, chick. You didn't say none of that. You just pulled off while she was talking when she was saying, we're going to go down Florida. We're going to do this. Like she was really excited for you and trying to celebrate you. And you pull off while she's in mid-conversation. I wonder if Mel even noticed that because Mel walks over to Maurice and like, you might need to tell her how to use that car because she might not have known how fast this thing pulls off. I think that was Mel trying to give her some grace for being disrespectful. But bitch, I know you fucking lying. You better not ever pull off like that on me because do you know who the fuck I am? Girl, please. Moving on. So Marceau, once Kimmy comes back from her joyride, he's sitting there talking to everybody. So he continues to deflect, talking about Keke and Crime Stoppers and her having a drug problem. Everything under the sun except what really motivated this conversation that she's having. The story out on the word on the curb is that allegedly Stormy's makeup artist told Keke's makeup artist that Tisha's makeup artist had a threesome with Marceau. Okay? So Tisha allegedly Keke told Tisha what happened. So Tisha got mad at Keke because Keke would not fire her makeup artist for saying that. Why am I going to fire my makeup artist for coming back and telling me some he say, she say? Why not look into what's going on? But yet you going to keep on getting your face beat by somebody that's allegedly getting her back broke by your husband. You ain't going to check into that? But yet you want somebody to, are we going to fire everybody around that comes and delivers information? What if it's true and Keke sit up here and fire her makeup artist? It's hard to find a good makeup artist. It's easy to get rid of a delusional ass cousin. But anyway, moving on, Marcel continues to deflect. Courtney, the cousin that does real estate, that's all of a sudden working in Keke's brokerage, is there. I mean, in Tisha's brokerage that don't exist and don't have no office. So Courtney is defending Keke in a slight way. She's not really defending her, but she sort of is trying to. She brings up, she's like, well, what is this all about though? Like, she's asking questions. She's like, well, there are rumors out here. So I'm like, okay, Tisha, are you going to disown Courtney? Because Courtney is basically telling you that she's confirming that there are rumors out here. So are you going to disown anybody around you that brings up the fact that there's rumors going on? You're going to have to acknowledge this stuff. You're on a nationally syndicated TV show. You're going to keep lying to yourself and us. We already see the forest for the trees. And Smokey the Bear said we can all prevent forest fires. Put the fire out and stop being delusional. It's too much. It's too much. So Tisha continues to go on being fake, talking about, and because Marceau says he was only saying the stuff about Keke because he really wanted to piss Amin off. My thing is, why are you trying to do that? And Stormy says, well, is that the reason why you called Courtney Beasley? Called Courtney Steele? You know that his last name is Beasley. Why would you do that? And she was like, yeah, because you was about to get your ass beat if you had did that that's what you was trying to do with Courtney. So he was like, okay, well, we would have just been going for it. That's what Marceau says. Boy, you know good and daggone well. And that's why you was over there hiding behind your brother, because you didn't want to get your ass beat by Amin. Because before Amin left, he said, listen, I done put up with a whole lot of stuff, but now I'm ready to whoop somebody's ass. Okay? Because what you're not about to do is keep on disrespecting me and thinking it's okay. Amin is not playing with you, Marceau. And neither is Courtney. So then they revisit all of the bitch comments, right? And Stormy is like, so I'm not taking it back. You are a bitch. And Marceau was like, you're a grown-ass woman. Like, you should know that it's not okay to be calling a man a bitch. And so Tisha says, well, don't you think you owe Marceau an apology? And Stormy was like, no, I'm not apologizing. Like, the fuck? And he was like, well, can you just agree not to say it again? And she, I guess, agreed not to say it again. Then here come Martell chiming in. Well, it's interesting that, Tisha sat there and allowed him to call, her to call you a bitch. That's the first time Martell actually says something that makes some damn sense. But before that, then he talking about somehow, women are always cackling and doing this and talking. Men, we just settle stuff. Then they go to a clip of him and Marceau fighting. Martell, just be quiet. Just sit this one out. You are right. Tisha definitely should have said something when when Stormy was calling her man a bitch. But at this point, it's over and done with. It's already done. Clearly, Stormy is doubling down on it, and she don't care. So Marceau continues on and on and on. Tiffany is there with her baby at this point. I forgot she was there. She makes a little, before, when she first arrived, she's throwing jabs at her husband again. Talking about, Ace is my date because, Lewis is doing what Lewis does, coach baseball. Girl, maybe Lewis was saying the same thing about you when you was always on Zooms or getting on a plane flying somewhere doing speeches. I want homegirl to wake it on up. Wake it on up, Tiffany. Because being a parent, this ain't for the weak. This ain't for the weak. Having small children. You decided to get back in that boat. You were damn near finished. But moving on. Tisha is sitting over here with Marceau looking like a battered woman. I just... This is unbelievable, guys. This is unbelievable that Tisha is this dumb. And even Mel says, you know what? You can keep on telling somebody something, but if they don't want to listen, that's on them. But you can't tell us, just because you don't believe it, you can't tell other people that they can't believe it. You can't tell me how to feel about some information that I get. And I get it. You, Tisha, you can be dumb. But you can't be mad at other people because they don't believe what y'all got going on. People are going to come to people on the cast with rumors about each and every one of y'all. Period. I'm sure people are in Tisha and Marceau's inbox all the time talking about the other cast members. And they think they got some information on them. So they holding it in their back pocket to talk trash. It's the same thing. But you can't continue to go on and on thinking that it's okay for you to air everybody else out, but nobody can say anything where it comes to you. It doesn't make sense. And then you can't get mad at people because people can pick and choose what information they choose to believe. Just because you don't want to believe it, you can't tell everybody else that they don't have to, they can't believe it either. You can be done by yourself. Nobody wants to participate in your bullshit. You and Marceau are full of shit. So then Marceau continues to constantly talk about, I can talk about Keke because I was the one out here in these streets looking for her when she was, down bad. And, I was picking her up and doing this and doing that. Here's my thing. If you help somebody, kudos to you for helping Keke. Because Keke and Tisha were at one point close. But if you do something for somebody, do it out of the kindness of your heart, not so that you can bring it up later on and lay it over their head every chance you get. That's not okay, and it's not cool. And when somebody has an addiction, first and foremost, Courtney made a comment. She said, do you know, but you don't know what is currently going on with her. Like, y'all are sitting up here saying that she's addicted to drugs or whatever. You don't know what's going on with Keke. Yeah, she's a recovering addict, but you don't know if she's still suffering or struggling. Have you asked her? You sitting up here putting stuff on her that you don't even know to be true. All because you're deflecting from you being out here being a nasty bozo ass nigga in these streets, fucking on everything that's moving besides your wife. And she over here looking like a battered woman, believing your bullshit. So Marceau continues to go on and on and on about, deflecting, blaming everything that Keke does on her alleged addiction that she's still struggling through, like as if she's getting high right now. And Stormy basically jumps in and says, is this true? Like, does anybody know this to be accurate? Like, people keep on blaming Keke's actions of her throwing this drink and doing this and that and the third because of her relapsing. Keke is clean to my understanding. She's in recovery. And Marceau was like, Stormy, stop. Like, have you ever seen anybody that is going through an addiction? Like, come on. Like, trying to tell her that she's dumb and she don't know what she's talking about. So Stormy was like, actually, I have my best friend. And he was like, well, what happened with your friend? And she was like, well, my friend, she used to live with me and she used to watch my son, but she no longer lives with me anymore. And he's like, okay, well, you didn't answer the question. Like, okay, so why doesn't she live with you? And Stormy was like, well, she's my best friend. And, and he was like, why doesn't she live with you? So then Stormy gets upset and cries and walks off. And Courtney, Tisha's cousin, goes over to console Stormy. So then here go Marceau and his grimace looking ass getting up because now he feel bad because he like, oh shit, I don't want her to go home and tell her husband that I done pissed her off again, child, because he gonna come with my ass this time. So he gets up, goes over to Stormy and begins to try to console her, and he's apologizing, very apologetic, because he like, listen, I am over here acting like a bitch, and I don't want to be Courtney's bitch. So let me apologize to this woman. So he hugging Stormy. He's like, Stormy, I'm sorry. All jokes aside, I didn't mean it. Blah, blah, blah. And Courtney is like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you never know what people are going through. You can't just assume that you know what's going on with people. And that's the thing. You don't know what's going on with Keke. Has anybody taken the time to ask her? Like, truly. Nobody has, taken the time to ask Keke, is she struggling with anything? They talked about her having tremors when she's hugging them and different behaviors. And Courtney was like, well, Keke is just a little extra anyway. But have you made the connection with evidence that these tremors or whatever that y'all are talking about is coming from her using a drug that she shouldn't be? If y'all really paid attention to her or actually talked to her, you would know that that's the side effects of this methadone that she's taking, not because she's in some relapse kind of situation. Then, Love and Marriage, the producers are shady as heck. They put up, and Keke still has not been convicted of anything from Crime Stoppers. That's basically to let the public know that Marceau and Tisha are full of shit. Somebody is really ready to uncover these damn Scotts this season. They tired of them getting past scot-free. Okay? They're like, y'all ain't gonna hide behind nobody no more. You best to earn this check, okay? So, they're tired of her trying to put Keke's addiction. It seems to me this season, Tisha and Marceau are trying to push Keke's addiction to the forefront to make it seem like she's not in her right mind. She shouldn't be on the show because she can't handle herself. And this, that, and the third. That's why I don't want Keke throwing no drinks and stuff. Yes, that's a human reaction. But I want Keke to settle herself down because I don't want them trying to use this as an excuse to try to get rid of her. That's all I'm saying. But y'all, moving on. So Stormy ends up leaving after Marceau fake apologizes for what he said. And when she goes outside, she asks Courtney if he wants a plate. He like, nah, I'm gonna get the hell up out of here. So the Fletchers come out there, and Chris is talking to Courtney, and Nell is like talking to Stormy, and Stormy is just like, we just gotta be mindful of what we're saying, and this, that, and the third. And Nell is like, yeah, but people gotta be, they have to be truthful about recovery and blah blah blah. Nell is giving me get wit vibes at this point. Like, I just want her to go on her and her bad wig. But speaking of bad wigs, y'all, the female Courtney, Tisha cousin, I don't want her to ever wear that wig again. I want her to put that on the mannequin and let her kids play with it. Like, that is, girl, that ain't your friend. That wig ain't your friend, sis. But moving on, Tisha is sitting at the table once Stormy leaves, and she's talking to Courtney, and she's like, I'm just not about to be Keke and ha-ha with you, and da-da-da-da. I guess that's where they got the title from. And she's talking about something, if you'll lie to me, you'll steal from me. Well, how about all the people that y'all allegedly steal from, where you take deposits from people for projects and don't never complete them? How about that? So do y'all are stealing, allegedly. So it's okay for you to do it, but it's not okay for other people? And what has Keke stolen from you? Why that reference? Keke, I just feel like Tisha feels like Keke has to kiss her tail. She needs to kiss the ring because you on TV. She's on the same show that you're on. Maybe not in star status, but y'all are just basically hiding behind Keke's addiction. That's exactly what y'all are doing. You're hiding behind her addiction so that you don't have to talk about what's really going on in your life. You don't want to talk about why Scott Manor is getting built. You don't want to talk about why you moving house to house. You don't want to talk about why y'all broke and got the allegedly rent furniture. Keke's addiction, sis, is not enough for you to hide behind. It's just not. So moving on, in the next scene, we see the guys. They're at the gym. Apparently, there's now this story that Courtney wants to lose weight. Okay, why is Martell always the person that somebody come to help them lose weight? But ain't nobody lost no weight on account of him. Just say y'all got to film and meet up, because this is just fake. Moving on, they talk about what happened at the cookout and how Courtney basically like Marceau a bitch. Like, he just always coming after women and he don't like that, and he better check himself before he get wrecked, okay? And Martell is just like, yeah, but just a lot of the women be saying some stuff that they shouldn't be saying to men or whatever. Basically, that chauvinistic mindset. And Courtney is like, nah, some of y'all need to pipe down, basically. It's not about what women are saying. It's about y'all, like, antagonizing people. And so then here comes Chris Fletcher. He's there. Chris has just been irrelevant in a lot of scenes. The only thing that he said that was funny in this scene was he don't care where Martell moved to. If it's Sheree's chateau or Melody's attic or whatever the heck. He was like, he just want him to get up out of that house that he in. But wasn't really nothing going on in this scene. They were just recapping what happened at the house. And Courtney wasn't even really there. But Courtney is basically making it very clear that Marceau don't need to be coming after his wife no more, because he ain't rocking and rolling with that, and he ain't fooling with the bullshit. So don't come at him with no more nonsense. You always poking at the women, but you will not get away with poking at me. So then we get to the last scene where Amin and Keke are at the storage unit. They're moving again. I feel like this is the third time Keke and Amin have moved. But I didn't know if it was for financial reasons or what, but we learned in this scene that they're moving for, I guess, better sports opportunities for their son. I'm going to say this, and this is just my opinion. In the black community, we weigh too much on sports with our children. We really, really do. We need to focus more on education, because getting in the NBA or getting into the NFL and all that stuff, that's a diamond in a rough type of situation for most times. Like, that's not going to be the one thing that's going to save your family. Now, if your child is very talented, I get it. Do what you got to do to support them. But make sure that you're supporting them in all aspects of their life, and education being the first thing. Because a mind is something that you definitely don't want to waste. You can get injured. Anything can happen with these sports. And just because you think that your child is good enough, that doesn't mean that somebody else that's making those decisions won't think that somebody else is better. So I'm not about to keep moving my house around for sports. If you're that good, I would think that the sports would accommodate you in wherever you are. That's just my 2 cents. But moving on, they continue to move all the time because of their son and the sports, and he'll get a better chance at playing on whatever team, and he won't be on the bench. I don't know. But then they continue to talk about Marceau being disrespectful and him talking about Keke's addiction. And here comes Mel. Mel pulls up to the storage place where they're getting their stuff together. And Keke is basically saying she's really sick and tired of Marceau being disrespectful. And then Mel was like, well, Tisha said something really nice about you, Amin. She was like, I love Amin. He's really nice. I always loved him. And Amin was like, she's a damn lie. She hadn't liked me ever since Keke confirmed this. She was like, she never liked Amin. She hasn't liked him even when we were dating. So she's lying. And Amin was like, you know what? F the bullshit, okay? I let him slide when he tried it at the Bessemer thing or whatever, when Marceau was talking all that shit. But Amin is at a point where he's just like, listen, I'm getting nuck if you buck, okay? Don't play with me. Because you being disrespectful, you out here disrespecting my wife, and you're trying to utilize her addiction to hide behind some foolishness. And I don't like that. So Mel comes up with a scenario of if somebody threw a drink in her face, then of course, she would feel like somebody was going to that Amin was going to defend her regardless. So she has to understand that Marceau was basically defending Tisha because she threw a drink in her face. And Keke is like, I don't listen. I get it. I was wrong for throwing the drink, 100%. But please let me let you know something right the freak now. They are hiding behind my alleged continuous addiction. They're trying to not tell their story and push me to the forefront. And Keke sees right through their BS. So Mel was like, well, let's just throw all of that away and you take a drug test. Take a test and see, just pull all this mess to rest. Put all this mess to rest. And she was like, I don't have a problem with taking a drug test. I'll pass with flying colors. But if I got to take a drug test, then he got to take a lie detector test. Because you're not about to check me and keep on talking about my addiction all day, but you sitting on TV day after day, season after season, lying. So I got to be checked, but you can keep on doing what you're doing and have no repercussions? Yeah, you tripping. And Mel was like, well, I got a drug test with me right now. You can go ahead and handle that. I just feel like I'm kind of feeling like it's a borderline piece of disrespect to be bringing a drug test. I get what Mel is trying to do because she's like, I support you and I, trust you or whatever. Basically, she's like, I have your back. But if we do I think Mel is also thinking with a producer's cap on where she's like, if we do a drug test, that will stop them from being able to talk about this at all. Period. That's the mindset that Mel is thinking with. And I hope that Keke looks at it like that. Because Mel sees through the Scott's bullshit too. She sees that they're using Keke's addiction to hide from the fact that Marceau is potentially cheating and that we could air him, allegedly cheating, and that he could get aired out. Because it's too close for comfort. You got this Bugs guy that is supposed to be the boyfriend, allegedly, of one of the makeup artists. And allegedly, he dumped the makeup artist because he found out about the threesome. But then he's saying he didn't dump her because of that. I don't know, allegedly. I don't know what's the truth with these people anymore. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to give Marceau a lie detector test to see if he lying. And Keke, I would take the test so that they will see I am not using drugs. So now you can stop saying that. Get somebody else to do it and tell your own story. So we're basically to be continued for next week, where we're going to figure out whether Keke is going to take said drug test or not. But y'all, drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this week's episode. It wasn't really giving what it needed to give for me. But I just think that there is a whole lot of BSing going on. It's a whole lot of hiding going on. And I just want the Scotts to be exposed. And not just for him cheating. Just exposed for not doing the work. Y'all are not talking about yourselves. I want people to give them the rebuttals that they need to have. Where you're constantly talking about everybody else and what they're doing. I want somebody to bring up the fact that they never talk about what's going on in their lives. And it ain't just Macy and Mila's shampoo and hair conditioner that you done relabel from Canvas Beauty. Unbelievable. But y'all, thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that watches this show too. And I will be down in the comments, even though this is not live. I will be talking to y'all in the comments down below. So keep chatting, keep commenting, keep subscribing, and hit that notification bell so you will know when I come back on. I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.